Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Vijiha Bilal, and currently I'm doing my BS from EPSNC Faisalabad, that is Divisional Public School and College. Okay, so the topic that today we are going to discuss are very simple and very easy. These are constants. First of all, clear the concept of constants. We all know that constants are the value that cannot be changed. It has almost similar meaning in programming also, which means the value that cannot be changed during the program execution. For example, values given as 10, 3.4, 20, etc. These are the constants. Also, we have the types of the constant. First is literal constant and the second is symbolic constant. Here we have literal constant. These are the values that is assigned directly to the constant. It contains the memory but does not references as the variable. For example, in a program if I type int is equal to or assignment operator 10. There are four major types of the literal constant. First is integer constant, floating point constant, character constant, and the last one is string constants. Here we have integer constant. Obviously these are the numeric values, but these values are without fraction or without decimal point, which means that it cannot be in the form of the point or numerator denominator. Let me clear you more by using the example like 87 and minus 10. These are the constant, but it does not use any kind of decimal value, but obviously the minus and positive sign with them. Positive sign is not important to show and it does not have decimal points. The second point we have here is the floating point constant. Obviously these are also the numeric values that cannot uses any other kind of symbols or any other thing, but these are the values that are used with fractions and decimal point. Like integers doesn't use the fraction or decimal points, it has the decimal, it can contain the decimals and the fractional parts. Here we have some examples like 50.75f. The 50.75f, the f indicates the floating point. But if you see in the sixth line, you see that for double floating point we use 15.32, which means that no capital F or no kind of small f is used with them. But moving towards the eighth line, you see capital L is used for the long double, which means that the long double uses the capital L with them, as you can see in the line number 9. The third type here is the very simple and the very easy to understand, that is character constant. The character constants are always written in single quotes. Any kind of alphabetic characters, digits, and any kind of symbol can be used as a character constant. Like the example here we have is capital A but in single quotation, and the N but also in the single quotation. We can also use the symbol like dollar sign, and the assignment operator can be used any kind of constant, other numeric constant, that is 9, 10, 14, 15 in a single quotation can be used, and that will be considered as a character constant. The last type of literal constant we have here, the string constant. As we came to know that in character constant we use the single quotes. Similarly, we use the double quotes in string constant. It has no much difference with character constants, but we can use any kind of address and any kind of constant or anything, digits, symbols, alphabetic characters in this string constants. Till now, I have explained you about literal constant and its types, but the second type of constant that we have is symbolic constant. Okay, so the symbolic constant is a name given to the values that cannot be changed. And remember that symbolic constant must be initialized and cannot be changed during the execution of the program. For example, pi states the value 3.141593. Pi, we have here the constant value and the value that we cannot change, that is assigned, and it remains the same, and that is 3.1 for something. Moving towards, we have here the type of symbolic constants. The first one is the qualifier and the second one is the directive. Constant qualifier. Constant qualifier specifies the name and the data type in the program, but defined directive, it is the directive that does not specify any type of name and the data type. Okay, the syntax will clear you more about this. Look at the constant qualifier. Constant qualifier contains the syntax like const data underscore type identifier is equals to the value. Look at the example, that is int n is equal to 26 colon. Define directive syntax contains hashtag define identifier value. This is probably used after the header files. You can see at the last line the pi used with the define directive. Let me explain you a program regarding this. First of all, I am obviously using the header file, that is hashtag include iostream. .h will be not used as because the our programming application does not identifies that. Now in the next line, same, I am using hashtag include with the conio.h. The output and the input is, now I'm using here int main. Int main serves as an entry point. It is a function. Then obviously the main brackets. Okay, moving towards the next line, I have used the curly brackets. These are the functions that any program or every program includes. Next, I'm using here constant float pi. I haven't tell you about what program says. The program is about that write a program that inputs the radius of a circle and displays the circumference by using the formula 2 pi r and stores the value of pi in a constant. This is what our program demands. So we have to put r and circumference, of course, and pi we have the constant. In a line number 6, I am also using float r and the circumference colon is the must, and in the next line I'm using c out for the output result. For this I have to know about the radius of a circle to fulfill my formula. That's why I'm writing here enter the radius in centimeters. I'm also doing some errors in the program just to show it during the compile. It will display our errors. In line number 8, I am going to input the radius, but the value of the radius is very important. Now you will see I am doing correct my error. After correcting my error, I have moved to the next line to input the radius, that is std cout radius. Obviously I have to know about the value for the radius that I have to show in the output. That's why I see in means input. After I have input my radius, now I am going to use the formula of the circle for the circumference, that is 2.0. I have if you see in the starting lines, I have used the constant float. That's why I have to use the point value, as I explained before that floating point contains the decimal point and fractional point, so that's why I have to use the 2.0, and obviously the value of pi is already 3.14, so I don't have to do any changes. In the next line I'm using std cout to output my result with the insertion operator, that is always used with cout in insertion operator. And I'm writing here circumference because obviously I have to display the circumference. This program is gonna output me the circumference, and when I will run this program and compile this will show me my errors and I will clarify them later. Now I'm writing here get ch. Also I'm doing so much blunders, and I'll obviously closing my program. Now I am running my program. It will tell the error, and as you can see, unknown type name error has occurred. That was on the starting lines. I have written cont instead of const. Now I will run, and you can see now I can put the radius in centimeters. I will write here 4 and enter. The circumference has displayed. This was our program, and we have cleared our topic, alhamdulillah. This was my assignment for today. I hope so you liked the video.